Hey everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies. We're playing Shadowrun Returns.
It's me and Andrew again. Apparently, Aaron's out having gay sex with dicks and willies, isn't he?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I don't think so.
No.
Launch campaign,
He's definitely out there being like, oh, gay sex is bad, it's not like PC.
So we do get to make a character.
Yeah, alright. I'm really excited for this. So, you want to do a...
Adam, you love...
I love Shadowrun. I played the pen and paper RPG. You might have heard that if you listen to our now award-winning special in the crappy Xbox 360 shooter, which was absolute shite. So I'm hoping this game's going to be better. It already looks it because you can create your own character. So let's do a girl.
Girl?
Yeah.
Race?
What race?
Human, elf, dwarf, orc, or troll.
You want to just go human just for the...
Okay.
Because they're simple. Oh, archetype. Okay, what's the archetype? Street
Samurai.
Okay, so Street Samurai is like, they're like guys who are like cybered up. So they have like a lot of, so they have like cybernetic arms and legs and like weapon. There's a cool weapon you can get in the book where it's like the War Machine thing where on the like War Machine from Iron Man.
Yeah.
Where like the gun is on like a mount on a shoulder and it can switch around. You can get that essentially and put like an SMG on it. So that's what one of my characters had. A mage is just a guy who throws magic. Decker, they're guys who...
They jack into the Matrix.
The Matrix is the internet for people who don't know.
Right.
They can like... So they're like the hackers, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Shaman summon spirits and stuff, so they're like a summoner. Rigger are like Deckers, but instead of just hacking, they pilot vehicles, so which would sound mainly useless in a combat-focused setting, but there's a lot of drones and stuff, so you can, like, for riggers, they can outfit drones and then hide in a van and then, like, send the drones in and stuff.
Cool.
I don't know if you can do that in this game. You can totally do it in the RPGs. You can probably do it. And then Physical Adept is kind of like a Street Samurai, but instead of using cyberware and weapons, it's like you're like a monk almost, where you use magic to upgrade your physical abilities and so instead of using outright spells, instead of using like a fire spell, you would use a spell to increase your physical speed, and then like you would also have one that would like make your fingers like diamond hard, and so you can like stab through the heart and stuff. Did you want to go Street Samurai?
We could go none if we feel comfortable with the way characters are built. We can make our own.
Okay.
It's up to you. I want to make a sniper. Can we make a sniper?
Yeah, you can totally do a sniper. I would either go Street Samurai or Physad for that. Physical Adept. Sorry.
You pick.
Let's go Street Samurai.
Okay. Because
Physads are...
So we get to pick our portrait here.
Okay. This is cool.
Adam's shaking. He's so excited.
I really like this game. Do you think this would run on my laptop?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Keep going. I got the perfect... Let's be that. That's
that
cool.
One?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, can we not change any of that?
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So this is skin color.
Okay.
Hairstyle.
Keep going. Wish it was a little easier to see.
Yeah, you can't zoom in, but that's
pretty cool though.
This is actually zoomed in compared to the actual game.
Okay.
The actual game is zoomed out a little more than that.
Okay. We don't have to go.
Oh, how's your? That sounded like it hurt.
Yeah, it did really hurt. I banged it off the keyboard.
All right.
Slider thing. What is the official term for this?
The keyboard tray?
Yeah, there we go. Tray.
Tray?
Couldn't remember that term. Ooh. I'll let you pick the hair color.
I'll go red.
Okay.
To match our portrait.
That's awesome.
No beard or anything, no horns.
You can get horns with trolls and only trolls, I think.
I'm going to go blue to match the portrait.
Okay. Can't really... That's blue.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. We can choose a different portrait. If
Continue to stats. Spend your karma.
Okay, so karma is basically, it's their fancy term for XP. Why they didn't just call it XP, I don't know. But so karma is Yeah. Okay, so this is like the game. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so this is exactly like the game. So you have okay, it's not exactly like the game because in the game you have okay, up on top you see the stuff. Yeah. So that stands for body, strength, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and quickness, I think is that one?
Quickness.
Yeah. So you have so many karma points, and you can use those to upgrade any one of those attributes. And the attributes are body, which is basically your health, quickness, which is your reflexes and stuff, strength. Intelligence is stuff like how good you are with like computers and learning skills. Wisdom, I think, is
magic.
Yeah, and then charisma is like charisma, like learning how to like talk and bluff and stuff.
Now, I think some of these are filled out because we picked the archetype.
Yeah.
The street samurai.
But
we've got 8 to play with here.
Yeah, and so you can either upgrade your body, which is like that attribute, so you would get more health, or there's certain stats associated with, or certain not stats, certain skills associated with each attribute. So for strength, like a skill associated with strength would be climbing, because you need strength to climb up on something. But gunplay would be reflexes or quickness. It's in my version of the game it's reflexes, but in this it's quickness. So ranged combat or pistols and stuff would be under obviously under quickness, because you're using your reflexes to shoot. Ranged combat, I believe, is I think like sniper rifles, hunting rifles, and crossbows, I think.
This is used to calculate the chance to hit.
Oh, okay.
With ranged weapons.
So, and then there's,
Pistol,
different...
rifle,
rifles, I believe, are anything from assault rifles to sniper rifles.
Yeah.
Although, in the game, those are called long weapons. Long-range weapons. It's cool because in the game, you can get stuff like cloaking, like outfits that cloak and turn you invisible, and you can also get stuff called gecko gloves so you can stick to walls. And so I made a sniper character once because I was the DM, so I just had to make a bunch of enemies, but I always wanted to make this character into like a character where I gave her a stealth suit and gecko gloves, and so she would climb up onto a wall, and then I gave her a weapon mount so she could one-hand the sniper rifle, so she's stuck on a wall, and so she can just climb up on walls and get shots like that. And I thought it was pretty cool. There's so much customization in these games. Dodge is the skill you use to help you avoid physical attacks. Like, so if somebody's coming at you with like a sword or something, you can dodge out of the way.
So I've got 1 karma point left to play with here.
Okay, so biotech. So there's different kinds of tech you can put in your body. There's regular tech, so stuff like cybernetics, and there's biotechs, and there's stuff like gene alterations and stuff. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff to play around with.
Yeah, you could spend at least an hour or 2 building your character here.
So drone control obviously is for controlling your own ESP control. In my version of the game, because my version I think takes place a little bit. This takes place in 2054, I think.
No idea.
My game, 4th edition, which is the game that I play, takes place in 2072. So there's some different stuff. So instead of having to physically jack into the matrix, you can play a character that has oh my god, what are they called? And I'll think of it. But they can, like, their brain has been altered so they can physically interact with wireless networks, like without having to have a computer. It's weird, but it makes sense. They explain it why that happens in game pretty well. The game has like it's a perfect game if you really like lore, because there's a lot of lore in that universe and just characters to get to know and stuff. And the way you get to know characters is there are splat books, which are like books. So like you can have a book like that's basically weapons, and it'll just give you 150 new weapons that you can use in your campaign. But each weapon will have a blog. It's like the book is presented like it's a form on online, and choose an etiquette.
Etiquette is about knowing how to behave in various social
situations.
The right etiquette can give you an edge in certain conversations. Choose an etiquette from the list below.
Choosing an etiquette does not cost karma, and each etiquette can only be chosen once.
So what are we?
We're probably because we're a sniper. I'm assuming that we're either going to be a Shadowrunner or a security. I don't know.
What is a Shadowrunner?
So Shadowrunner, they're like mercenaries, kind of. In this world of Shadowrun, it's a very dystopian cyberpunk future where the corporations control everything, and the corporations can't declare outright warfare on each other because if one corporation attacked another, then that corporation would have all the other ones gang up on it. Mm-hmm. But what they do is they hire Shadowrunners in order to steal like other corporate secrets and like or like mess with other corporations, because if the Shadowrunners are caught, then the corporations will go, "We didn't hire them. Just some asshole broke into your fucking security buildings. Clearly, it's just there's some nut job. We didn't hire him at all." So it's about plausible deniability. So that's what the Shadowrunners do. Security, I'm assuming, would be like you're like working as a security guard for one of the corporations.
I think Shadowrunner is going.
Yeah, that's what you play as in the game.
What is her name?
Many runners use street name or handles when working or a working name like Halfjack or Lady Z. Let's give how about Shotgun Jane? No, that doesn't make sense because she's sniper. How about man, I should have thought of this beforehand. Furious?
Furious something. Furious Jane.
Alright.
Oh
That's
no.
Are we gonna cut this?
It's a good name. Doesn't have to be Furious.
How about how about Two Shot Jane?
Two Shot Jane. All right, this is it. No PH.
In one of the characters that I made, her name was her real name was like Samantha, but her street name they called her or she liked to call herself the Rosie Spectre, because she liked to wear she had a rose colored jacket that she liked to wear.
All right, here's the story so far. Your apartment, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's got 4 walls, roof, and isn't on fire. Even the cockroaches have fled in search of better accommodations. Not exactly a runner's dream pad, but right now it's about all you have left. Running the shadows is about feast or famine. One day you're Nova Hot, I don't know what that means. Working jobs that allow you to eat at 5-star restaurants.
Nova Hot is like you're super cool, or you're like cream of the crop. But the cool thing about Shadowrun is there's a lot of slang. Like it's a really rich world, so they have their own slang. So like Physad is physical adept, and anyway.
Yeah.
I'll keep quiet.
No, it's cool. So basically, we're poor shit right now.
Yeah. So and your apartment is shit. Did you ever play the Deadpool game?
Yeah.
I loved his apartment in that game. It was just absolute shit.
All right, so let's.
So presumably you're gonna get hired by somebody. So if this is a game where magic and technology and high technology exist. So the plot is in 2012 when the Mayans, because I said Aztec in that Shadowrun builder, is not the Aztec, it's the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar, I don't know if you remember, but it was December 21st, 2012. The Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. In Shadowrun, people got it wrong. It wasn't the end of the world. It was the end of the 5th world and the start of the 6th world, because in Shadowrun the world operates in cycles. So when the 6th world began, magic started to come back into the world, and it came back in the most spectacular way possible when a dragon appeared over Washington. Just boom, dragon. And everybody was like, oh my god, it's a dragon! And then like people started turning into elves and dwarves, and orcs started to come back, and all of a sudden people would shoot fire out of their hands. But at the same time, corporations were on the rise. Like the United States of America no longer exists. It's been broken up into several different principalities. And just like technology advanced and AIs were being developed and stuff, and it all kind of culminated in this one world that's very kind of dystopian, and like there's a lot of racism, but like not all the so humans aren't necessarily on top, because there's a dragon who runs the world's most powerful mega corporation, and he's Lofier, I think his name is. So never trust a dragon, by the way. They're basically bastards. Don't ever fight one though, because you'll lose. Like hardcore dragons are fucking scary as shit, even the little ones. So yeah, it's really cool game. And so like you can be in a lot of this game is like fucking with corporations and stuff, but you can also be like out in the wilderness, like hunting like wendigos and werewolves and stuff, and like zombies exist. There are shamans that can summon like evil spirits. There's these things called bug spirits that infect people and turn them into human bug hybrids, and they're trying to take over the world. There's AIs, there's like insane wizards, there's like eldritch things that are coming up from like the deeper realms of magic. It's such a cool I don't know, I gush over. It's like my favorite. It's probably my favorite setting.
Yeah.
We talked about it in a video that we did a little while ago. But I'm assuming that one's coming up before this.
Probably.
Yeah, so look out for that video. Which we're not mentioning. So, I'm assuming a lot of the... Oh, it's all text-based. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any voice acting. I can't hear it. There wasn't the first time I played this.
Okay, well.
Oh, we wait for the money. Yeah, sure, of course.
I'm assuming that guy kind of... The big guy on the left is a troll or an orc.
Yeah, I think he's a troll.
Yeah. Trolls are the biggest, but they also cost...
No, maybe he's an orc. He doesn't have horns.
Yeah. They also did a... it wasn't called Shadowrun. I think it was called Third World, where you play... It's in the same world as Shadowrun, but it's before... No, it's called Fourth World. It takes place in the Fourth World, so it was when magic was around Earth the first time, and magic disappeared 4,000 years ago, and then the Fifth Age lasted for about 4,000 years, so for as long as recorded history, and nobody's sure why magic went away and why human civilization kind of collapsed in upon itself, but you know that it's going to happen at some point in the Sixth World. Cool. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a really cool setting. What other cool stuff is there in the setting? Like you can.
That's orc, right? That looks orc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orcs have a bigger lower jaw.
So we're waiting here for a meeting to happen.
Okay. There's a cool like there's when you're building your character in the pen and paper RPG. Oh. Looks like corporate security course.
So the gameplay here is turn based.
Okay. You only control your character?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's like the old Fallout games. Although maybe not. Maybe I think I control everybody.
I just had the biggest sense of deja vu. Really? Green agents coming to the door now.
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
Alright, so I'm this guy now. Sam.
Did you find that in those movies, the Matrix? Holy shit! You shot the crap into that guy.
Yeah, that guy's dead now.
When in those movies, like the agents, when they were talking to them, they spout philosophy that oftentimes didn't make sense. They'd be like, "Humanity is like a jellyfish," and it's just like, "What are you talking about, man?" The cool thing about this game is you level up, and you can level up your attributes, but like you can, at the end of each successful mission, you're awarded karma points, and you can turn karma points into currency, and then a lot of times you upgrade yourself, not like your attributes, but you just upgrade like the weapons and armor you have.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of different like stuff you can put on your weapons and armor. I was playing a game, and one of the weapon that I had was a sniper rifle, and I upgraded it with a user system, I think they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically, it gives the gun its own AI, and so the gun like self-correct, like it's basically like a spotter for your gun. So it was self-correcting for like wind and temperature, but it also had like, I gave it like a sassy personality, so the gun would always like talk back shit to me. It was like, "Fuck you, man," and stuff. And you can give like just the characters a lot of personality when it comes to stuff like that. You can, and you, like, there's a shit number of rounds you can use. Like, there's basic rounds, you got armor piercing, you got dragon's breath, you got explosive, you got tracking rounds, so you can shoot a guy and the bullet will, like, act as a transmitter. You got, like, shock rounds, you got rubber bullets, you got, like, I think you can get energy weapons as well, but they're really rare. You can get, stuff that, like, shocks people. Oh my god, he summoned a spirit.
Yep. So they're sending a lot of guys after us.
So clearly you fucked up.
Yeah, we got set up big time.
Okay. Hang on, just go to that guy.
Which one?
One of the guys who you're attacking. Not Inferno. Oh, okay, so you're fighting Renraku. So Renraku's one of the major mega corporations. I wish I had my book with me. Cuz that book has everything all the fluff and stuff, and I could be pointing out stuff. Oh man, I wish I brought that. But it's Renraku's one of the major mega corporations. They deal a lot with, like, they focus mainly on AIs and stuff, and building, like, artificial intelligence and computer systems and stuff. So, but they, like, most mega corporations have, like, access to shamans and stuff.
So you've got to be aware of where you're positioning your guys.
It's kind of like XCOM in that way.
Yeah. So see how my cursor is. I've got a full shield here.
Yeah.
That means you're not going to be able to shoot through this object. But if I go take cover behind this picnic table, I've got a half shield.
Okay, so they can hit you.
So I've only got half cover there.
Okay.
So if I move this guy up here...
Are there any more planned DLC coming out for this game?
Well, the cool thing about this game is it's got access to the Steam Workshop, and it's got its own mod kit, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So you can make your own campaigns.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can download other people's campaigns.
Oh, okay. But, like, is there any official campaigns coming out?
No, I don't. Not that I know of.
That's too bad.
They might be. They're probably working on one, to be honest.
It's by FASA, is it?
I'm not sure who it's by.
Because FASA publishes the pen and paper book, and I know they have their own...
Oh, no.
Grenade.
That sucks.
There's a cool ability if you're a physical adept. There's a cool ability that you have where you can. It's a very expensive skill to get, but you can catch stuff out of midair. So one of my gods I was playing with, that's what he did. They were a phys ad, and I was DMing and I shot an arrow at him, and he caught it. And I was like, everybody was like, and it was like an absurdly high thing to get, but he managed to get it. He just rolled really well. And we're all looking at him, and he was just like, yeah, that's right. I caught it. And we're all like, oh man, you badass as shit. Why don't you send the orc back around and flank up, kind of like
up around here?
Yeah, and then go back by behind where the beer stuff is.
Up here?
No, like...
Oh, down here.
Yeah, and then flank that way.
It'll take a couple turns, but I will do it. She's low on health. Anyway.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking you should probably send her
I don't know how to heal.
Did you lose a guy?
One of them betrayed me. I had to kill him.
Okay. Fuck you, that guy.
If I go down here...
Strangely enough, there's no jetpacks.
No jetpacks?
I mean, you can easily make one.
It might be a little too unrealistic.
This is what happens with a jetpack. Like, and just, like, make that... Oh.
Missed.
Yeah. Do you have any, like, grenades or anything?
I don't think I have any grenades.
That's too bad. Clearly you're just low-level runners at this point.
Yeah.
I wonder why Renraku wants you, because normally big corporations don't care about, like, little, like street-level guys like you.
That did it.
Holy shit, you murdered the fuck out of those guys. Because when you,
There we go.
Because when you first start out, normally you're dealing with, like, really, really basic, like... You're either dealing with gangs, like, really low-level gangs, or, like, really, like... There are different ratings for corporations, so there's A, AA, and AAA, and AAA are there's only 10 of them, I think. and they're the mega corporations. They're the biggest entities on the planet. But normally at first level, you're only like what I would do is I would only make them deal with like A-level corporations. Because obviously they have like lessened security and stuff as opposed to Red Raku, would have like security up the ass.
Mm.
A lot of mega corporations have like subsidiaries that are just like they're private armies essentially. So I think the Ares Macrotech has lawyer.
That's just a lawyer. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a memory.
Was it?
It was me remembering this guy who was calling me on my phone here.
And he betrayed you?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I think I saved his life.
Okay. Can you buy stuff in the game, like weapons and armor?
Not sure. I think you can, yeah.
Okay. So have you gotten any of the user-created missions or anything?
No. To be honest, I haven't played too much of this. It's
Okay.
just been other games, which is not to say that this is not a good game, because it's a very good game.
It does look like a really fun game.
You just have to be in the right mood to commit to something like this, because it does take a while to
get into.
Yeah. So how long does a campaign of this stuff last?
It can. You mean the pen and paper?
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of game you want. You can have a campaign that just lasts a night if you want. You can have a campaign that lasts a couple of nights if you just want to have if you have a short story you want to run through, or you can have a campaign where you string several stories together and like work it into like an overarching story. Because like Shadowrun will, like, the people who publish Shadowrun have their own like books and stuff, and they'll like they're called published modules, so they'll publish like official storylines, but you can make up your own easily. Well, not easily. It takes like maybe an afternoon to like plan out weapons and like locations and stuff and like enemies and whatnot. But it's very accessible. The only downside is you obviously have to use your imagination for most of it. But there's a big orc.
Okay, so I haven't really been paying attention, but the guy that called me on the phone was dead. That was his that was his digital ghost or whatever.
Okay.
That called me. That's him lying here. Okay. So I'm investigating his murder.
Okay.
So something's going on, and people are killing Shadowrunners or something.
Yeah, well, they're pretty expendable. That's kind of their whole shtick. It's in the game. The more missions you complete, the more your like reputation goes up, and the more reputation you have, you can use that to like ask for bigger like paychecks than you would normally. But it also gets you enemies and stuff. And when you're creating your character, you can get cool. You can get they're not skills, they're not attributes. What are they called? They're like little things that benefit you in small ways, or if you take negative ones, they'll give you more build points, and so you can get more money or skills or better attributes. So like some examples of negative of these negative things are like, or some examples of the positive things are like you have photographing memory, or you're ambidextrous, or you're just lucky. So if you roll dice and you're kind of on the fence about whether the dice roll succeed or not, then it generally ends up that it succeeded and stuff like that. But some negative sides are you have an arch enemy. So like just somewhere out there's a guy who just wants to kill you, and then you tell the DM that, he works that into the story. Or like you have a drug addiction, or there's one called Gremlins, which I personally have in real life, where technology just likes to fuck with you. And like if you're using a computer, you have to roll to make sure the computer doesn't explode in your face or whatever. So, I don't know if you noticed, back there was a dialogue option. Yeah.
That had listed strength requirement, but I didn't meet the requirement, so I couldn't select that speech option.
Okay.
So I think it was an intimidation option, that big guy there. So if I was bulked up, I could intimidate him into giving me information.
Yeah. I like to play characters with high bluff.
Yeah.
And, I don't like to intimidate people. Although I did play a fighter once in D&D who like basically like I had high intimidate because I was like hulked out of my mind. And actually, I wasn't a fighter. I was a barbarian. So like people would be like, Adam, intimidate him, and I would take a table and I crack it over my knee and throw the table down. The guy would be like, I'll talk. I was like a dragonborn, not the dragonborn from Skyrim.
Yeah.
They're actual like lizard people.
There are lizard people in this?
No, this was in D&D.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Although I think there are lizard people in this. There's like mutants and stuff.
Sorry, I'm trying to read this and trying to listen to you at the same time.
I'm kind of prattling on.
No, it's cool. It makes for a good video. So this is a new guy.
Okay.
I guess he's also investigating the thing.
By the way, if anybody ever comes up to you in this game, it's called Mr. Johnson. They work for the corporations. So
they're all called Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, that's just because like their official government or their official corporate sponsor, but they don't want people like their real names to get out there, so they're just like, call me Mr. Johnson. Because obviously, if they try to set you up and you survive, like they don't want you knowing that their name is like Valerie Green or something, and like, oh, let's go kick Valerie Green's ass because he sent us on a mission. There were zombies in there, man. Although I think the zombies in this game are called ghouls, but they're basically zombies. There's also vampires and werewolves too. Man, this game's got everything.
So, got a rifle?
No, we need one though. Oh man, we got an AK-97. They're good. You can get a thing with in this game called the Smart Link system, which basically you put it in your gun and you put it in your brain, and like a little like sight appears in your eyes, and so wherever you point the gun, that's where it'll appear on your eyes. So it helps you with aiming.
Cool. So he's following me now.
Okay. So you got an AK-97.
Yeah, actually, I don't know.
Oh, two-shot Jake Harbridge. Yeah, there we go.
So that's equipped.
Okay.
All right.
Go to Cyberware. See if you have anything.
No.
Okay, you don't have anything.
Jake does.
He's got a data jack. Oh, okay, so that allows him. So that's hooked up into his brain. He takes a little cable and he hooks it into a computer, and then he accesses it with his mind.
So that's the Matrix thing.
Yeah. They called it the Matrix, but it is the internet.
Yeah.
Although, like website, like it's in virtual reality. So like websites, like they call them jack in. When you jack into into the Matrix, and let's say you wanted to go to. Let's say you wanted to check out the website for Avengers 2.
Yep.
Then Avengers 2, it wouldn't be a website like it's presented now. It would be like a room, and like so you wouldn't be walking around, but your like avatar in the Matrix would have to walk around and go into different places. And like if you wanted to watch a trailer, you would go into the like this room and sit down in the theater, and they would show you the trailer, and then you can get up and like leave and stuff. Because this was all made before we kind of knew what the internet was, and then like they were like, "This is what the internet's gonna be," and we were like, "No," because that's a really like time-consuming interface.
So Jake had a stash here. We went to get it, but now we're getting robbed.
Like shit, you are. Blow that guy away.
I don't know how to multi-shot. I don't know if you can.
You might not be able to.
Oh,
because that gun only comes with burst fire.
Oh, and that takes 2
ammo.
No, 2 action points. So I think you get 2 moves per turn.
Yeah.
So that takes 2 moves.
This is incredibly like the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this guy, I'll come up here. There you go. And grenade.
Man, where are these guys getting the grenades to?
I don't know. I want some now.
Low-level thugs. Also, I love how that hooker is just like, I don't give a fuck.
That was an aimed shot.
Okay. Go up to the hooker.
Go to the hooker?
Yeah.
Alright. So, welcome to the Barrens, I guess. Yep.
Are you, does this take place in Seattle?
Yes.
Because the main place in the... Seattle kind of became the biggest city in the world. Or one of the biggest cities in the world. Because a lot of corporations are based in Seattle. And it's like it's kind of like a... It's still part of the United American and Canadian States, but it's... which is like the successor to the United States, but it's kind of like a lawless city almost. I think. There's the city of Denver got taken over by a great dragon, and nobody can go into it because he's just like, well,
how many dragons are there?
There's a certain number of great dragons, which are like uber, like don't fuck with me, like big ass, like there's like Smaug or Alduin, like those kind of guys.
Okay. Or
Deathwing, and then there's like an infinite number of smaller, lesser. They're called lesser dragons, but they're still pretty badass. So like a lesser dragon could take out like a platoon of soldiers. A greater dragon could take out an army.
Okay.
They're like that big. Like they're basically as big a threat as you can fight in this game.
Who's this guy? Vlad.
To the point where you will not win. Like you just can't. They
what if you're all max level and you
won't win because there's this one of the greater dragons. Lofir's brother, I forget his name, took a orbital laser to the face, and it hurt him badly, but he was able to walk away from it. It shot him out of the sky, and he landed like, we got him, and then he got up and like crawled away, and they were like, oh shit. So they're pretty hard to kill. It's not impossible, but you have to put a lot of time and effort into it. Like, you basically need like a nuke.
Yeah.
Or like really powerful magic, or like something like more. Like you couldn't do it with regular guns.
So you can't talk to everybody.
Okay.
But the guys with these around them. That being said, if you were to create your own campaign, you could, like, you have complete control over this. You can...
Okay. I'm assuming you have control of the art assets and stuff, so you can...
Yeah, so you'll get, like, this building here, it would be an art asset.
Okay.
So you can, like, place that in your map.
Yeah.
Like, the decorations probably are optional. Like,
yeah.
You put those on yourself.
It'd be cool to make one of these.
Yeah, it would be.
This is very true to like the setting of Shadowrun, where it's a very like Seattle's a very futuristic but also very dirty city.
Yeah, it's like Blade Runner.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Fantastic movie.
I need to watch that again.
Really good music.
Yeah.
So right here, if I had picked the gang etiquette
at
the beginning, I'd be able to relate to this guy and probably get some info out of him or something.
Yeah. Or
I could intimidate him here. But I don't have that. So I'll just say, bet your mom's real proud of you right now.
Looks like a wrestler.
Yeah. I'm going to try to kill this guy if I can.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, done a lot of damage. Uh-oh.
Oh, there's more of them than I thought. It's like 85. Yeah, whatever, I'll do it. Nope. Never mind. Where's the other dude? Oh, he's right here. Go back here.
Run away. I sent my party, the party I was playing with when I was DMing, through the sewers once because they heard that there were some ghouls down there that they had to clear out, or no, they heard there was a cult down there. Sorry, that they were tasked to clear out, like a small cult, and one of the players was being an ass that episode or that campaign. So I was just like, all right. And then I rolled the dice and I'm like, okay. And then it was like, and I turned to her and I'm like, all of a sudden you feel a steel trap close over your leg and you get dragged away into the water. And she's like, what's going on? The character the person was playing as was female, and he was like, help me. And out of game, the person looked at me and said, "What's got my leg?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a sewer gator." And I basically rolled up a sewer gator and had the gator attack them, and they were like, "Oh crap." And yeah, that was actually a really hard level because I kept sneaking into the water and they kept like shooting into the water, like where is it? Because none of them, for most of them, that was the first time they've ever played an RPG. So they didn't actually have a lot of like offensive capabilities. So like they'd be like, I got a pistol, and like the gator would just like shrug it off and be like, I don't care.
As a DM of something like that,
yeah,
I would assume like you're trying to stick to a central storyline.
Yeah.
How hard is it to keep everybody doing that?
Incredibly hard.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because not only are they like, sometimes they just
because they're free to say, choose to do what they want.
I read a story once where a guy, he was like, I was setting up this, I've been playing with this party for a while, and they just come back from a mission, and the king was throwing them a feast, and what I was going to happen was all of a sudden the lights were going to go out in the feast, and a guy was going to, like an assassin was going to swing through the window and kill the king, and that was going to be the next adventure hook where they have to find this assassin, and it was eventually going to turn out that he was working for like the evil dude that they were trying to hunt down and stuff.
Right.
What happened was right at the beginning of the feast, when the king's about to get up and do his speech, before the assassin's coming in, one of the players stands up and says, I take my sword and I run the king through. And he's like, what? And then he rolls for combat. And then the other characters get up and start blasting people at the party. And so the characters went kill crazy and just started killing everybody at the party.
So the characters ended up murdering everybody.
Yeah, and then afterwards the DM was like, why did you do that? And they're like, we wanted to see how far he would roll with it. And then they went back and did it properly. But like, there's stuff like that can happen. And like, let's say you're running a campaign where one of you have this contact that the characters are working with, and the contact is central to the story you have crafted. Like he's really a bad guy who's trying to set up your characters, but you need him. But you need him to string along your characters and stuff. Let's say he enters into the characters are meeting with him, and he enters into a room, and one of the characters gets jumpy, and as he opens the door, blows him away with a shotgun, and that guy dies. Well, what are you gonna do now? Now you gotta like, oh crap, and stuff. Like you can either try and fake and be like, the guy runs away and you don't get to catch him and stuff, or you can either roll it, or you can either play like, oh, he's dead, and then be like, oh, he was a life model decoy, or he's dead, but it was really like, you just gotta kind of roll with the punches and stuff. Because there were times where I said, suddenly you hear they were wandering, they were walking down the street, and like suddenly you see a poster on the side of the street, and they were like, welcome, all Shadowrunners, please come to this location, for a very exciting opportunity. Clearly that was the campaign hook, but the character's like, nah, we're gonna go shopping, and they just went out and shot and was like, okay. Yeah, so stuff like that. Like sometimes you gotta,
troll.
Sometimes you gotta say just stuff like, come on, guys, this is the campaign, I got hooked up. If you don't do this, then we're not going to get to play and stuff.
Yeah.
But other times, you got to be like, they're just like, you just got to roll with it. That guy is going to get fucked up.
Have the shopkeeper get brutally murdered or something when they go shopping.
I had it once where one of the characters had an arch nemesis, and they got it when they were in jail one time. And so they came back from a mission, and the prisoner, the inmate who hated them prison overalls, were nailed to the wall with a knife, like a big Bowie knife.
Yeah.
And it was in their room, and the words underneath were just, I'm out now. And they were like, and the character, and I passed them an envelope with that, like, inside that description side. They looked at the envelope, they looked at me, and they were just like, and that was going to be the next campaign, was them having to try and like getting attacked by this guy and his gang, but the group broke up shortly after that because of various reasons. DMing is pretty cool. I prefer playing just because I like having a character and stuff. I feel like I'm a better player than DM. Holy shit, you blew that guy away. Yeah. Don't forget to reload.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the players would forget to do that, and I go and they fire, and you hear a click, and I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, it means you haven't reload, and they're like, we gotta reload, and I'm like, yes, I keep track of your bullets, and they're like, oh shit.
So I gotta go up there.
Good old StarCraft Fog of War.
Cops.
This guy got a big shotgun.
Oh, they're cops.
Well, they're probably Lone Star. Because Lone Star there's no cops in Seattle. It's all been contracted out to private security firms, and the one that won it is called Lone Star.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever played StarCraft?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. What's your opinion?
It's good. It's fun. I like it. It's takes some dedication to get really good at it. I'll say that much. So I can bribe this guy to let me in. But do I want to do that? I'll lie to him. I haven't heard of that.
That's what I like about the Telltale games so much, is that like in Mass Effect. Like in Mass Effect, I know basically I always have to go with the top, like the Paragon option. I'll be good. But the Telltale games, you generally don't know which is the best response or not.
Yeah. Yeah, you really don't know how the character's going to react to what you say.
Yeah. Have you played Tales from the Borderlands?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Really good.
You played on PC?
Yep.
I got it for because I got a $20 PlayStation Network card, so I got it for PlayStation 4. I can't read any of that
text.
Yeah, so I'm.
Do you wear glasses?
No, it just works on I don't need to wear glasses. It just works on a slant. It's pretty small text. If I really had to, like, I can read. Hang on, just.
Oh, sorry.
Just talk to him, and so like I can know anything about the murder that took place here, but it's so small it would take me to concentrate to read.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you can read a lot better.
Yeah, because it's straight on for me.
Yeah. Just a freelancer.
What is this? Sinless. S-I-N. What is S-I-N?
So SIN is I forget what it stands for, but it's basically like you're registered with the government, and it enables you to get jobs and stuff like that, but it also enables the government to kind of track you. So if you're sinless, it means you're not showing up on any databases, but you're kind of like an illegal. So if you show up if a cop comes up to you and says, "Let me see your SIN card," and you don't have one, that means like you're either like a vagrant or like an immigrant, like an illegal immigrant, or like you're a criminal and stuff like or something like that. So it automatically gets suspicious. But it means that if you're on the run, the system can't track you.
Right on.
This is a cool looking game.
It is, yeah. So I'm just gonna bribe this guy to let me in.
Okay. Seems like that's kind of like the only way you can.
Yeah, I could have if I passed one of the speech things.
Yeah.
Would have been fine.
This is I love how like in all of these settings, if there's like one thing that like. Although weirdly, you don't get that in Skyrim, but like in all of these games, like there's always like a whorehouse, or like a prostitute station.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call it, like a strip club or something, but not in Skyrim.
No.
Which I'm not complaining. Like I'm not like we need one of these, but it's like even in Mass Effect there was a strip club. Except in Mass Effect 3, there was no strip club in Mass Effect 3. There was the bar. I forget what that was called. It wasn't Purgatory. It was
Afterlife.
Oh, it was Purgatory.
It was Purgatory.
Because Afterlife was the one in
yeah.
Omega.
Yeah, visit the modding scene on for Skyrim. You'll find all the sex stuff you want.
It's a big orc.
Yeah. That's a troll.
Or yeah, Dan the Donut Man. Man, I can go for a donut right now.
Did you see the murder? Nope.
Didn't see nothing. There's a really cool campaign called the Renraku Arcology Shutdown. Do you know what I mean by an arcology?
Kind of, yeah.
It's like a big building that's like self-sustaining, so like it has its own shopping malls and food production centers and like infrastructure and power source and stuff like that. And the Renraku Arcology looks like a big pyramid, and is meant to survive like nuclear blasts and stuff like that. And one day, this big arcology, all the doors shut down, and all the signals coming in and out just shut down, and like there's no communication in or out. And when the government, you're able as the campaign goes, like Renraku hires Shadowrunners to go in and figure out what's wrong, and when you get in there, you discover like there's an AI loose in this like city, and it's closed off, and it's kind of like it's like modifying people and turning them into like the Borg essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really really cool campaign setting, because like it's very scary, because Shadowrun is rarely scary. It's a good setting, but it's not because you're like like you got like combat shotguns that fire like explosive rounds and like diamond like laced body armor and stuff like that. There's very little that can hurt you. But in this situation where like you're in this place that's cut off, and you're like low on ammo and stuff, it was a pretty scary setting, because and just like it was really like a lot of body horror and stuff like that.
Cool.
Do you see that skull above the fireplace there, or whatever
right
that is? That's the symbol for Shadowrun. That's like the logo.
What is it?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's ever explained. No, she's an elf.
So were the mythical beings kicked out of there? Like how did they get here? Where were they prior to the
emergence?
Yeah.
So some elves survived the end of the fourth world and just lived in secret in the fifth world, because elves are basically immortal, and so they just kind of, or they live a long time, so they kind of lived and then died out. But when emergence happened, something happened to the gene pool of humanity, and certain like one in every, I think, 50 or 100 humans either turned into an elf or into a dwarf. They just like, no, sorry, it wasn't that they turned. They every like 100th baby was born an elf.
Okay.
Or every 100th baby was born a dwarf, and then a little later, people started to mutate into orcs and trolls. And they're not sure if that was part of some sort of virus, some like corporate created virus, or if it was because of magic coming back, like some sort of magic thing. And that's never really been explained. But elves are okay, but dwarves, orcs, and trolls face a lot of stigmatism in human society. Or stigma in human society. That's a big troll. And there's some, like, Ireland is a nation of elves. Like, the elves took over Ireland, and they called it Trinanog.
Sucks for Irish people.
Yeah. And Ireland became, like, overgrown. When magic came back, Ireland became overgrown with, like, a magical forest. Because like in the fourth world, Ireland, like the island of Ireland, was a big forest, like a big magical forest. Because in Irish mythology, there's a place called Trinanog, which is kind of like the fairy world, and Ireland then but it turns out that Ireland was the fairy world. It just receded because of the death of magic, and now that magic come back, the forest came back. There's a elvish nation in kind of occupies like the Canadian wilderness, but it's more, they're elves, but they're also Native Americans as well.
Uh-huh.
And there's in Central or South America, there's a country called Amazonia, which is basically like all of South America, and the Amazon rainforest got taken over by these 3 dragons. And it's basically like they're a nation of tree huggers, and they're at war with Aslan, which is used to be Mexico. That's taken over most of Central America.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool stuff.
Sounds
and of course, there's like Yakuza and like triads and mafia and stuff. So what are you doing now? What are you looking for?
I'm investigating my friend's murder. So he was here when he died, I think.
Okay.
People here knew him anyway.
I'm assuming this is like a whorehouse.
Yeah. So this is another area that if I had the decking skill, I'd be able to hack that.
That's pretty cool. It's too bad you couldn't make like 3 or 4 characters and have them like switch in and out so you have a party.
Yeah.
What happened to that Decker guy that was following you around?
He would only take me so far.
Okay, so he's not like a permanent party member.
No. So now I'm just looking around. Anyway, I think we've covered this game. And
it's a cool looking game.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, from what I can tell, it tries to stay true to the source material. Right?
It's certainly very close to the source material. Like, obviously, I want to sit down and, like, read all, like, the flavor text and stuff. And
totally.
But from what I can see, certainly the way it's based and how you create your character is very similar to the source material. So, 10 points for that. Or full marks or whatever. I don't know what the expression is because I'm dumb.
Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Come on back and join the fun again. All y'all. Goodbye.